Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of A Wee Touch of Madness, the video podcast brought to you every single week by Madness Records, hosted by me, Loz, the funny man, and somehow the man who's been getting a fuck ton of challenges recently. So this week, I am joined with a very special guest. As you probably heard from last week's episode with Natty, he kept mentioning Rob. Well, we're talking with Rob and the rest of the band, apart from the bassist. Storm the Empire. You alright, guys? How you doing?
All good, man. How are you?
Good. What's up?
I'm good, bro.
Living the dream and loving life. Now, most people ask me sometimes they ask me where do I find all these guests every week? And it's actually quite simple. I do have an answer for that. Basically, I go into the gutter. This is where I got these guys from.
Yeah. Something like that.
So, can you tell everybody out there a little bit about yourselves and the music that you do to people who may not be aware of what you bring out?
Well, Storm the Empire originally was a Canadian main band, but now it's a Canadian-British collaboration for the simple fact that in January I had to move back from Canada after living there for 3 years. I believe I started the band in 2018 or 2019. I think I started putting the band together in 2018. And at that time I was living in British Columbia, in Kelowna, and I kind of stumbled across these miscreants, as you can see. And life has been great ever since, really. As for our music, I mean, it's very different, I find. I think it's very unique. You know, it's got your metally parts in there, but it's also got a bit of punk in there, and I don't know, it's a cross between an American and British metal, I suppose. Obviously, with the influences that I have are different to the influence of these guys.
Hold on, Andy, you're gonna have to mute yourself if you're going to be rustling in the background, because I won't be able to edit out that.
Sorry, I'm eating my kids' Halloween candy.
Yes.
I won't do it anymore. I was just trying to open it really
like I said, miscreant. Like I said. So
yeah, no more. Sorry.
No more.
Carry on,
have you been stealing your kids' Halloween candy?
That's why we have kids.
That's what you do.
That's why you have kids.
I saw a meme about that.
But we're gonna have to start that little bit again because of all the rustling in the background. There's no way in hell I'll be able to edit that out. So.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
No more noise.
Yeah. Do you want me to turn my mic levels up, or are they okay for you?
Just only slightly.
Slightly, yeah.
Just a wee touch.
Is that better?
A lot better. There you go. So,
Andy, you ruined it. Sorry, man. No, I ruined it.
No, you're ruining it.
Oh, man. This is going to be a nightmare.
I'd say you're all ruining it. Right, so can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and the music that you do to the people out there who may not be aware of what it is that you produce and bring out there to them?
Do you want to go for this one, Rob? Put you on the spot?
Well, realistically, Dale started the band, I think it was 2019, realistically.
Right, don't give the guitarists all the credit, they're guitarists, they're not...
No, Andy and I were the last members in the band, funny enough.
Yeah, I just joined last summer.
Yeah, and then I was just before him. So Dale had started the band with our former guitar player, Jake, and drummer Corey and Norman, I believe, was the original lineup.
Yeah,
and
that was
they were looking for a vocalist, and basically I was on my last day on my job because I was going to go to school, and Dale was my replacement. So he was smoking cigarettes and listening to metal outside, and I went out for a smoke break, and I'm like, oh shit, I guess I'm the mold for the new employees. And he said they were looking for a vocalist, asked if I wanted to audition, and I said, all right. I hadn't done music for about 2 years, and then I didn't know anybody in the band at the moment, and then Norman walked in, and I've known our bassist for 25 years. So it was really funny to see him walk in and be in the band, because at that moment I knew this is where I wanted to be. Later down the road, we had recorded an EP, Kismet EP with Jake. I was playing drums, doing vocals, and it was the four of us. And we found Andy through a mutual friend, Rob, who plays in Andy's other band, High Horse. And we kind of just kept that line up until recently, and now we're a four-piece. I've taken over rhythm guitar and vocals now still, and we're in the midst of writing some new music, but our genre is I don't know. I like to call it melodic metalcore because it's kind of what it is. But I think the biggest response I've had is it brings people back to like their screamo days.
Which is good. In some
Yeah,
respects.
for some reason that's what people
I
like.
would say for anybody that's watching this, if you are generally curious, because it's going to be really difficult for us to explain our genre. If you don't mind, just go out and check our music. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music. Just type in Storm the Empire, and you decide. You comment or let us know, message us, tell us what you think about our genre. Maybe you can describe it in a better way than we can, or put it in a label. I kind of like to leave it open to interpretation for people to put their own thing on it. You know, a lot of our music, especially with the lyrics, is open to interpretation. So I don't like to kind of like put it in a little box and say we are this, because I play different styles of music on the guitar anyway, and a lot of that tends to, I tried to collaborate a lot of the things that I know in my writing. So trying to say it's this or it's that is a little bit difficult for us, especially as insiders trying to look out, right? You know, because we're writing the music and we're involved in it, we're normally concentrated on what we're producing. We're not really thinking about, oh, you know, we want to try and fit into this genre or this niche. I think for us it comes down to doing what we enjoy. And you know, some of the challenges we face writing, with me being abroad, obviously me being in the UK and these guys being in Canada, our writing style has changed. It's had to change and it's had to adapt, but it doesn't mean.
So it's gone from like, because the writing style has kind of changed a little bit. It's gone from where everybody can collaborate together to kind of like bits and pieces, trying to discuss, bounce ideas off each other when you're like 5,000 miles apart instead of like 5
Yeah.
I think it's actually switched. It was like our writing process before was Dale would write the leads, the rhythms, and him and I would collaborate on how the song would go. And now it's more me, Norman, and Andy are writing the basses after Dale and I have like hashed out how the song should go.
Yeah, so like me and Rob will tend to come up with, like we'll have a couple of like ideas or things like rolling around in the air, and then we will go, this kind of sticks or this kind of doesn't, and then me and Rob kind of spend a day or a night trying to come up with a rough demo track. Our writing style has definitely changed, and I think for the next stuff that we're writing, we're trying to push our own boundaries a lot, and it's quite difficult to push our boundaries and communicate everything we want to communicate, with obviously a time difference and being, you know, them being on the other side of the world. But I think for the most part, we've done quite well at it. You know, we released the second album while I was in the UK. Bear in mind, I did write that second album while I was in Canada anyway, so that was a bit of an advantage. But
except for one song.
Except for one song, yeah.
Done in the new way.
Yeah. But you know, these guys support me as much as they can, and I always try to give back to them as much as I can. And you know, we've accepted the fact that, you know, I'm in the UK at the moment, and what will be, but we keep trying and we keep pushing, and we definitely keep writing music together. And for me, that's important, and that's something I generally enjoy doing with these guys.
Cool. It's cool that technology allows us to do this.
Yeah.
These days, you know, I mean, it has a point where we can put Dale on stage as a hologram. That's what we really need. But, you know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
No.
Maybe not.
Well, that answer was a little bit more long-winded than I'm used to. And for those of you at home watching this, if you notice, there is actually a counter at the bottom of the screen for the amount of times UK was mentioned during that segment there.
Fantastic.
Now, as you know, Natty gave me a challenge. Gave me two challenges, actually. A challenge for me and a challenge for my next few guests. Now, I did say that I was not going to get Rob involved on this because knowing Rob, he would have something absolutely ridiculous for me. But today, I am feeling, I say brave, probably too strong of a word. So by the end of the interview, I want you guys to give me a challenge.
Okay.
I
can give you a challenge. I think I've got one. We'll find out. I'll think about it for the interview.
Okay, we'll find out near the end what that challenge is going to be, and I do have a feeling because Rob is involved that it is going to be something completely and utterly ridiculous.
Hey Rob, while we do the interview, I'll text you. Yeah, we can
Word.
we can figure something out.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I probably shouldn't have mentioned this. I probably should have just saved that for my next.
Do you think Rob's bad on his own? When Rob's with me, he's even worse.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Oh, great, goody gum jars. Right, so whilst the boys are trying to hatch up a challenge for me, which, yeah, now I'm getting scared. Let's move on with the interview, shall we?
Yeah.
So, can you tell me what plans you have next year musically?
I mean, for us, I would say finishing the current album that we're working on, we're going to do a full release this time. However many songs that is really however many songs we decide. At the moment, it's not finalized. We've got about 5 ideas that we're working on. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, is to get me back to Canada, which is something I've been doing over the past year, dealing with immigration and things like that. And then we have been in touch with festivals, shows, local shows, obviously shows around Canada and some shows in the US. There's some stuff that we do have potentially lined up, but we can't discuss it because that's to do with the label, which is one of those things because, plans can change and I don't want to say things if things don't pan out the way that we want them to. But we hope they do. But realistically for us, it's focusing on our music and keep building our audience and keep, engaging with our audience and maintaining the audience that we have and just growing as a band really and overcoming our challenges as a band. I mean, I don't know if that's long-winded again because I'm quite a long-winded person.
Yeah, so next time, the next question that I ask, we're actually going to have Dale on mute and we're going to try and get some words out of the other two. Maybe they can get a word in edgeways.
Hopefully, we can try.
We can try. It's worth the effort. Right. So, what are the influences that actually got you into doing music in the first place? Now, I'm going to ask that one to Andy first because he's barely said a word so far.
Well, I mean, I'm a little older than these guys, so my influence was probably a little different. I grew up. Just to give you a sense, like I graduated before the Metallica Black album came out, so 2000s, 90s kind of hardcore stuff is what and then the Tool, Rage. There's a really wicked band that came out of the Pacific Northwest that is basically my favorite metal band called Botch. Mars Volta, you probably heard of them. That's one of my favorite bands. What started playing? Why I started? I just honestly, it sounds kind of arrogant, but when I first sat down at a drum set in grade 7 for band class in middle school, I sat down, I started playing, and it sounded so good I had to stop.
Did you say middle school or metal school? Because it sounded like you said metal school. I went to metal school, dude.
Yeah, no, junior high. It was what it was called.
Oh, middle school, right? Okay.
Middle school, grade 7. 13 years old. So, yeah. So I was just hooked on the drums ever since, and I've been playing ever since.
See, now that is actually a better answer that I've gotten from most drummers that I spoke to, because the general tone that I get from most drummers that I talk to is just as I have said this before, if people have seen the episode I did with Keith Barnes all the way back in season 1, you kind of know what I mean. It's me hit drum, me drummer now, kind of that sort of thing. So it was nice to actually kind of get a bit of a logical answer behind that, and actually some actual influences instead of just me hit drum.
Oh, I like to hit the drum too.
There we go.
Yeah.
There it is. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, no, Animal on the Muppet Show was my main influence. So.
Awesome stuff. Well, that's definitely a very long list there. So, Rob, how about you?
Musical influences that got me into music?
It's me, isn't it? I know it's me. I know it's me.
That's hard. I'd have to say my mom is number one because my mom's a blues singer and I grew up going to her band practices. So being around live music was a thing for me my whole life. I started playing guitar at 10. I was performing by 12 and I've been doing it since. And I'm 31 now, so it's been like 20 years of me pursuing the dream that I'm in. Music wise, I'd have to say like In Flames, Arch Enemy, Clapton, Eric Johnson. Now would be like While She Sleeps, Born of Osiris, Polaris. A lot of bands really influence what I do, but like my main, like a lot of my favorite bands aren't even metal. Like I'm a huge Radiohead fan, huge Modest Mouse fan, Misfits fan. I love punk rock. I love a lot of like folk. So I love Ben Howard, Xavier Rudd. So I have a really wide range of influence. I think that's it. It also kind of comes out in like my vocals and my guitar playing.
Fair enough. That was definitely a hell of a lot of influences, and I like the fact that you first started getting into music because your mum was a blues singer. That's actually very interesting. That to
My
give you
mom
that
wails. Yeah, she's
yeah.
like Tracy Chapman. She just fucking wails. Like I wish I could sing as good as my mom.
What about you, Dale? Then.
Hey,
Oh, and that's all the time we have for today.
I don't mind.
I've got expensive equipment here. Don't make me spit my coffee out.
I just made Rob spit his coffee out. Yes.
Mine was actually my reason I started playing the guitar was physiotherapy. I actually severed my arm in half.
Do I dare ask?
A gymnastics accident.
Of course. What else would it be? It wouldn't be
Yeah,
something manly like, I misplaced the saw or something manly. No. Oh, gymnastics. Yeah.
No. I was told that I wouldn't be able to have the use of my hand ever again, and I can show you the
get a
scar.
girlfriend.
Yeah, so you got a girlfriend, but I don't know how well you can see the scar, but it runs all the way down from all the way here. Looks like a centipede, but yeah, I snapped my.
Disgusting.
I know, right? It is. I want to get it tattooed as a centipede or maybe a caterpillar. You know, the green caterpillar.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started off obviously doing that to rebuild the dexterity in my hands, and then I just got into like obviously all the classics like like AC/DC, Metallica, Iron Maiden. I was like 13, 14 when I started getting into that stuff, and then it just progressed from there. And then I started getting into like Killswitch Engage, Bullet My Valentine, and then from there it went into like more of the niche stuff like Rabir Massad, Rob Chapman, While She Sleeps, Bring Me a Horizon, and all sorts. And then my grandma's a massive country fan, so she got me into like Shadows, and then Eric Clapton. And
I like your grandma.
Yeah, she's got like 122 records at her house. And then every like Friday, my granddad used to get paid, so they always used to get a few cans of cider in, play darts, and listen to country music in the house. So
that's
for me,
the life. That is the life.
Yeah. So growing up like that, I got massively into music because it was just a religious thing. We always got to my grandma's at the weekend. We always knew country music was going to be played. So there's something about the twang of country music, and then just I don't know.
So can you explain the creative process? I mean, I know it's difficult at the moment. We obviously with one of you being back over here in God's country, the UK, sorry, and the rest of you being over in Canada. I know it's quite difficult for this bit, but how do you explain the creative process that you go through when you create your music to getting it out there to the public?
Go on, Rob. I'll let you do this. Or Andy, go on.
There's kind of two ways that we're going about it right now. Like Dale's will write riffs, send them to us. We'll try to incorporate that, or I'll put a drum beat over it, or me and Norman and Rob in the room together coming up with stuff as well, right? And then we kind of try to meld those together somehow and make a song out of it. So it's I don't know, it's a good process. Like we end up recording it, and so we kind of know what it sounds like right away, as opposed to when you're in a regular band and you're jamming stuff out, you might go months before you even record a song, and then you find out it sucks. So this way we
find out straight away.
Yeah, so I mean we're working it out as best as we can with luckily with the technology we have.
Yeah,
well, I've got to say, it is actually quite inspirational of how you guys are doing it. I mean, you're like almost 5,000 miles apart from each other, yet you're still able to create music. Now, to me, that is absolutely amazing. I mean, the fact that you're able to do that is mind blowing. And you know, I take my hat off. I won't actually take my hat off, but I'll take my hat off to you.
Thank you.
That's really good.
It's been a process because like our songs that we're working on now have a lot more emotional content to them, rhythmically and lyrically. There's a lot more because we're jamming together in a room. Like little nuances, like Andy putting in a certain drum fill, and we're like, "Ooh, we really like that." You know what I mean? Like that is the true definition of creativity.
Yeah, you do need to have that group in the room.
Yeah, and like Dale and I do the same thing. We'll do video chats, and we'll sit. Both our guitars are plugged into our interface, so we can hear each other while we're playing, and we jam for hours.
Yeah,
and we work on ideas, and like that's the music aspect, and like lyrically it's basically just comes down to like things that I'm dealing with at that moment.
One thing I would like to say though as well is as we've it's been a learning curve for us, because when we started off we didn't really know how we were going to go about doing this, with me being in the UK and obviously those guys being in Canada. And as the months have progressed, we found more and more ways to do it. Like I think it was only like 2 months ago we found out like Rob could actually control my PC from Canada. So I could talk to him.
That's not terrifying.
No. But I trust Rob.
Oh, Dale, what have you been searching, you naughty boy?
I do that on my phone, not on my PC.
Hands free.
Hands free, baby. I've got a stand for it and everything.
No, it's cool because like Dale, I can engineer Dale while he's recording.
Yeah.
So like from my house, I can sit here and control the DAW that we work on together, and basically like, okay, no, that sucked, retake, like redo it. So he doesn't have to physically play, stop, record. It's just like being in a studio, right? Like he still has that engineer.
It's more in the moment as well, because sometimes when you're on your own, you won't think of something, like you'll think of it your way. Whereas if Rob's there and he can hear it live, like the idea I'm trying to convey, he can go, hold on a minute, I've got this really cool drum beat, maybe change it up a little bit. Let me just program the drum beat in. So because he can control my PC, he will, you know, program a drum beat in that he's got in his head. And then all of a sudden my riff has gone in one direction to another. And that's beneficial because you need that sort of feedback with each other. You've got to be open with each other. You know, if you can't just be unhappy if something isn't working. You've got to say, dude, how about try this? But the person's got to be open-minded to that. And with these guys, we're all very open-minded with each other. You know, we'll say.
Well, being open-minded in a relationship does help.
It does. It really does.
Especially like in the dynamics of a band, being open-minded and like especially to like new ideas and new ways to do stuff really is very beneficial, because it kind of helps to mold you together better as a team. Yeah. So I like that. I like that one quite a lot.
Yeah.
So if there was someone out there who you could do a collaboration with, who would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough. For me personally,
it's me, isn't it? After my episode last week, it's me, isn't it?
I don't know. Mine would be Rob Chapman, I think, just because of the fact he's like one of my guitar idols.
I would love to do a song.
What, in general?
With Laws from While She Sleeps. I think that'd be a wicked collaboration.
I thought you said my name there. I was like, oh wait, I'm actually gonna do something. Oh crap! I shouldn't have laid down that rhyme. Damn you, Scott, for giving me that challenge to bust down the line. Damn you! Now you've opened up the floodgates. See, See, this is all your fault, by the way, Scott. Since you gave me that challenge, now I'm getting all of these offers. What about you, Andy?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I could just pick one guy, but if I had a gun to my head and had to pick one guy, I would probably pick.
To quote Natty last week, this is Canada, not the US. Of course, there isn't a fucking gun.
Yeah, so I'd probably pick Omar from Mars Volta. That guy is like, I don't know, one of my favorite musicians, creators out there. So I'd love to jam with that guy.
Where is it online where the people at home watching this or listening to this or whatever, where is it that they can connect with you online if they just want to pop in and say hello or just to give you a review about your music?
Instagram.com.
Yeah, stormtheempire.com.
Jesus Christ, that was all of you at the same time.
Yeah.
Then one at a time, please, ladies.
No, just our website. It links you to everything you want possible. We tried to make it a central hub, and I'm working
We'll
on
have that website down here as you on the screen, like I've done for the last episode. Have the website down there on the screen, so that way, if you didn't catch what Rob said, it's right there.
It's stormtheempire.com. It's pretty simple. It it connects to all of our socials. Our music's up there, and soon it will have our merchandise on there, so you can buy one of these badass flags.
Yeah, I saw that on your Facebook, and I was like, "Oof, that is nice." The detail in it.
Coffee cups, and we got toques. We got lots of good stuff.
I've got my coffee cup as well.
Right,
but my coffee cup's better than yours.
It is. It really is. No, but our socials are all linked on our website, so that's the easiest way to find us, and you can contact us through there with the contact us page.
Now, I will have the links to their socials down in the description as well as the website floating on the screen, and also you'll see their social tags right there and right there up on the screen. What just in case you didn't catch the one bit of advice that you know now that you wish you could have told your younger self at the start of your music career?
Invest in your career. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, why the fuck should anyone else?
Don't expect things to be given to you. You got to take them.
Mm-hmm. Make it happen. Literally, the concept of if you build it, they will come is a reality. Just go with it.
I felt like I hit a nerve there. Are you okay with
No, it's a true thing, because a lot of artists say they want to have a music career, but the key word in that is career. You know, any career you have to invest in, whether it's getting education to be professional at something or
just being just like me and having an amazing singing voice as I demonstrated last week.
Exactly. That, and that's a key thing for me is motivation. Like, there's a lot of musicians out there who want to be in a band but don't want to do it full time, and they'll hold a band back. And it can be very detrimental, because there's a lot of amazing
name
bands.
Any of those bands, or is that just a little bit too much?
Well, like my original band, the Pasties, like, we were never as invested as we should have been. We had great music, could have made it, but we weren't like, it wasn't a career. We didn't look at it like a business. And nowadays, being a musician, you have to have a brand business and be able to sell it. It's not just music. So investment is key. I think that'd be the biggest thing, is investing and believing in yourself. If you genuinely believe that you could do it, throw everything, like Natty said, throw all your eggs in one basket,
and just go for it. Just run for it. Yeah. And just because I think I kind of hit a nerve with you there, because as most people probably won't be aware, is that you also have your own management company as well, don't you?
Yeah, it's artist development and management company. So we try to help bands basically be self-sufficient so that they can make it as a career.
Yeah, and obviously that's actually kind of how we met in a way, because that you actually got a couple of the guests that I've had on the show recently to come on, and it was all because of you were managing them at the time. So thank you very much for that.
No worries. They're fine
people. Help me fill out a couple of episodes. So how did it come about then for you to come up with the idea of doing this this management business? Was it just so you could drum into everybody, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, do this? Rah,
Yeah, I wanted to be an
I'm the
inspirational
Canadian Hitler.
speaker.
Rah.
No, realistically, it was when we were trying to promote ourselves as a band. I really wanted to get us signed, wanted to get us out there, and I realized there was a lot of pay to play and a lot of like paying for interviews and just nowhere that was
I think
helping
as
bands.
well in Kelowna, because I was in Canada at the time when you were talking about it.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
had
lack
just
of
left when I started.
support in the area where the band's based. Like just generally everything from the music scene to, you know, places to go for people to play, and you know, there's not really that environment to thrive musically there.
Yeah.
So like Rob kind of took it upon himself to try and fix that issue. You know what I mean? And
One man, one army.
Yeah. I mean, that's where Enigma kind of sprouted from that initially, and then you know, Rob's obviously grown it, and he's done a lot of hard work to grow it as well. And my hat's off to him as well, because I know me and him have had plenty of discussions about Enigma and trying to, you know, always think of ways to improve it. And you know, we can only do so much, but Rob has got good head on his shoulders when it comes to it, and the way he applies himself is top notch. I'd say anybody is looking for any sort of like management or help, go check out Enigma Media, because Rob and myself, we will do the best we can to guide you guys into that sort of, you know, just generally help you.
Now, I will definitely highly recommend those guys as well for that. I mean, as I mentioned, like, literally not long ago, that I met Rob because he posted something up on a music page about wanting to interview his artist, and that's how I got to know Rob and talking to him and found out about Enigma and found out about what you do. And I'm completely invested in what you do as well, and I'm completely behind you and what you say about all the pay to play debacle that there is. I mean, that is absolutely shocking. I mean, this is why, for instance, on this video podcast, I don't charge anyone to come on. You know, I don't charge because I want artists to come on. I want people to come on who are passionate about their music and excited about what they do, and to tell the people about it. And especially with me, where I actually generally want to know, and I want to give people that platform to do it. That's why I started doing the podcasts myself, because I want to give that platform. I ain't gonna pay. I ain't gonna charge you for it.
Well, thank you very much, dude. Because like, it's people like you that really give back to the music industry. Honestly, man, because there's a lot of this mentality where
if I had a shave, you'd see me blush. They'll stop at you.
we Northerners are all right sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, because a lot of people have this mentality of like it's me against the world when it comes to the music industry. And if you have that mentality, you're not going to thrive in the music industry.
No,
because you need to be open and you need to be humble. You know, being humble and saying, you know, like, I'm just a normal person who's wanting to follow my dream is totally fine. In fact, it's better than being somebody who's pretending to be something they're not. And, you know, you've got to be open, because if you're exclusive, you're not going to get anywhere. You know, you've got to build a network. You've got to have people that you can help out, and they'll help you out, you know, kind of like you scratch my back, I scratch your back sort of thing. But we all work together in the music industry. We don't, you know, there's none of this cut guard mentality, because if you have that, you will not thrive in it. And that's my honest belief, because what goes around comes around, shall I say.
So what you're saying is I've got to step back a little bit on this belief that I'm a god.
Just a wee bit. Like, don't change who you are.
Like demigod.
Demigod.
You're still godly, but you're not the god. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with demigod. Okay, I can. I can deal with that demotion. That demotion is going to be a bit painful, but I can deal with it.
Surely yourself, Lawrence, you've experienced, or you've been in, I know with my experience in the British music industry, where if you go to a show and there's kind of this competitive mentality between other bands when you play the show together.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. Right. And that's
constant one-upmanship. So I'm better than you, I'm better than you. But hold on, you're both in the same
venue.
You're both in the same
Yeah.
venue. You're both in the same place, playing to the same crowd. Why don't you enjoy the night? Play your best, but don't try and one up. The crowd are enjoying it, or they won't enjoy it.
I
It's
tell
the
you,
good thing about friendly competition, but making it like a full-on competition is what ruins anything.
Yeah. And then
Like-
you'll wind up making more enemies than friends because
Yeah.
you don't know, later on down the line you might play with that band again.
Yeah.
It
Oh, the
might be
amount
a
of
bit
times that's
awkward.
happened.
I've
Not
been
with
in
these guys, but
I've been in a situation where a band had that mentality, like I just want to one up and one up, and I'm just like, I'm here to enjoy myself. And their guitarist broke their hand, and they rang me to fill in.
Sorry, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
Yeah, you can laugh. They rang me to say, "Oh, can you come in?" And I was like, "Hold on." I helped unload all of your guys' gear. I set up all your PA. I set up everything, and you guys just sat there and did nothing. Why am I going to help you now when you need a guitar player to fill in a show? What goes around comes around, right?
Exactly, karma.
Karma.
Mhm.
So maybe I was being a bit petty, but these guys were a-holes.
Well, no, well, in a way, you are right. I mean, if you treat people in the same profession as yourselves, like musically, if you treat them with respect,
Yeah.
they should treat you with respect, and if you help them, they should help you. It is no competition because, as I said, everybody's in the same boat, trying to break through into the industry that is so saturated with mainstream crap. Sorry, I get a little bit over passionate.
No. It's good to be passionate though, because
Over-passionate.
it's an issue that needs to be addressed. Every show that I've ever played, and I know with these guys, when I played shows with these guys, we've always gone up to every band. Do you guys need a hand unloading stuff? Do you guys want a hand with this? If you need this, it's in this. You know what I mean? And just then being open with them, and we kind of do that to tear down that guard of like, well, this is another band, and they might have a chip on a shoulder or whatever. You know what I mean? To just be open and friendly with each other, enjoy the night, like you said, and just have fun with it.
We're moving on for that because I'm getting to the point where I think I'm getting a little bit over passionate. So we'll move on, shall we? Should we move on?
Mm-hmm.
let's do it.
Yeah, let's move on. Right, so now we are. I don't know why we're moving on to this bit now, because we are getting down to the nitty-gritty part of the interview, where it is going to cause quite a bit of controversy.
Love controversy.
Everybody does. Go. Right, so are you guys ready for this? Because bear in mind, for these next lot of questions, there is no safe word. There is no out. Once you start, you can't stop.
Sounds like a hell of a Friday to me.
I'm gonna have a fake cigarette while we do this.
Right. Are you sure? Because if you feel uncomfortable, I still won't stop. That's what she said.
I'll just make it more uncomfortable. It's okay.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Let's do this. Let's rip this band-aid off.
Okay, so my first nitty-gritty, super serious question for you. What goes up and down but can't move?
Oh fuck! I've heard.
Do we have to
this
be
before.
serious?
Sunrise.
Goes up and
The
down
sunset.
but can't move. Yeah.
Yeah, the
moon.
sunset. Well, the sun.
Yeah, the stairs. There we go. You got
yeah.
it.
Oh, the stairs. Yeah. Well, I suppose the sun is right, because you got sunset and sunrise, and the sun never moves. We just rotate
Oh,
around.
shut up, Dale. Oh, you ruined it now.
Logical. Too much logic.
Sorry, I can't help it. I'm an engineer, man. Like, leave me alone.
Fucking engineers. Honestly, you're all the same.
I know.
You're so logical.
Yeah.
I tried doing a question like that with one of my previous guests, Big Q, all the way back in season 1, and yeah, I got the most logical answer to the most ridiculous question that I asked. Like, it did actually quite annoy me. Now, obviously, those of you out there who know about that interview I did with Big Q, and you know that he's one of my artists that I manage. He's one of my best friends, so I can rip on him. He rips on me all the time. It's fine. And he's actually making a beat for the rap battle I'm going to be having with Natty Snaps in a future episode. So that should be fun. So, what is the most trouble that you have been in? Now, please, nothing too super duper illegal, because I don't want you getting yourself involved with something and police knocking on your door. So try and keep it friendly, PG, family friendly.
Oh wow.
See Del struggling.
Rob, I'll let you go first on this one, mate.
Oh Jesus.
My,
How PG do I have to keep it?
mine's pretty tame. Like I broke into the high school with a bunch of guys. We didn't break in. I had a key. I had a key because I was in this band. But we went in the middle of the night, and we just went into the band room, and we played drums, and we were all like super stoned, and did a drum solo for everybody, and then everybody else played the drums, and then the cops came, and so I sat in the cop car for a while. That's probably
That would do.
that was probably the worst thing.
Oh, I broke into school just to hit on drums. Brr, drums.
I could go for hours. It really depends on which level we want to go.
Hey Rob, you know me as well, so could I. I'm just
Right? Like on tour with Natty, when me and Natty used to tour hip hop, like because I used to tour hip hop for years. We used to bring a paintball gun with us everywhere we went. We would shoot anything we could while on tour. So we'd be going down the highway and like, oh, semi, and try not to get caught. Or like any sign we see that said no hunting, we'd be like, fuck you, and just paint the shit out of it. Or
Like
like,
if I'm able to find stock footage of that scene in the 8 Mile movie, I'm gonna try and superimpose that there for that.
bro, Natty used to upper decker Merritt every time we went through it. So he would take the top part of a toilet off and poop upstairs and then put it back. That's what his initial signature of Natty Snaps has been through Merritt. So like, I'm surprised he didn't get into that.
What do you mean poop upstairs? Like poop in the tank?
Yep.
Yeah.
An upper decker.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Oh, you guys.
So like one time we're on tour and he just comes fucking flying out of a gas station and we're like, what's going on? Thinking he just upper deckered it. No, he actually like had like taken a bit out and left it on top of the toilet for the next person to see. But he left and somebody came in. So like he fucking booked it because they made eye contact with him and he was out and he's like, get the fucking car, go, go, go. Like
Oh
so
my
many stupid
god.
stories, dude. I could go on for hours on like not illegal stupid shit that I've done that we didn't get caught with.
Right, everybody, if you want Rob to come back on the show with Natty to go through for an hour slot about all the ridiculous shit they got up to, let me know. I'll put a poll on my social media so you can let me know. And if I get enough people say yes, we'll make it happen. What about you, Dale?
I don't know. I'm trying to narrow it down because I was a miscreant when I was a child. I was
Well, nothing's changed.
Yeah, I was
Well,
such
Northerners, so yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of things that I don't self-incriminate for. I suppose like one thing that I did is I stole my friend's car for like 2 days. I just kept driving it around. Didn't have a license or anything like that. And then I got pulled over by the police, and they said, "Do you have your license on you?" I said, "No, I've left it at home and all that stuff." And the police totally brought it because I knew where the car belonged, the address and the postcode and everything. So they were just like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no worries." But I don't know. There's been like I used to make smoke bombs at school, like in the science class, and then just set them off randomly in school and like walk away and be like, "Oh, who's like off a smoke bomb in the middle of the hallway?" Just shouting that somebody did it. But it was me, and the teacher'd be like, "Who did that? Who did that?" I went, "I don't know, sir. It's just there. I can see the smoke bomb going off. I don't know who's done that." So that's the kind of shit I got up to when I was a kid.
I feel like a total delinquent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dale, you're such a Ned.
Yeah, I am.
You're such a Ned. Now, for those of you at home who don't know what Ned is, it's a non-educated delinquent, and that's exactly what Dale is.
So
I was totally like in my head. You said Ned, and I pictured Flanders.
We
You
say
pictured
chav.
Ned-
Do you want to explain to these guys what chav means?
Chav, council housed and violent.
That's what I am. That's what I was
Yeah.
brought.
You live on a council estate and you're violent. Chav, council housed and violent.
Council house and
And
not anymore.
You have like terrible fashion sense. That's the worst crime a Trav can do. It's terrible.
Yeah. I never wore tracksuits. I've never owned a tracksuit in my entire life.
The only time I wear a tracksuit is if I'm going to the shop and it's early hours in the morning and I need milk.
Okay, I just gotta say, Rob is laughing because he's got no idea like half the slang words that we're using, and then also tracksuit. He's like, "What the fuck's a tracksuit?"
Yeah, I started laughing at tracksuit. He knows me. I heard tracksuit and started fucking laughing. legit. They're oh man, they just make me think of Ricky. I don't know why. Like as a Canadian, I see like track pants, and I'm like fucking Trailer Park Boys. So I can't take anybody who wears them seriously.
Hey there, bud.
They're not like that anymore. They're more kind of like fleecy-ish, kind of comfortable bottoms, really. You know, I don't know what you'd call them over there, but we kind of call them joggies now over here.
Yeah, joggers.
Yeah, joggers. Yeah,
sweatpants. They're just sweatpants.
Oh, they're just sweatpants over there. Right. Okay. I'm glad we got over that language barrier there.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Track
the
pants,
biggest fight that
sweatpants.
Dale and I have ever had, and it's continuing fight, is the name of food.
The name of food. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
I'm
fucking
interested.
fries.
Chips,
They're
mate.
called chips, and they're called cookies.
No,
Biscuits.
both the Brits just fucking piped up there, mate.
I love it, bro. Oreos are cookies, though.
Oreos are
Biscuits.
shit.
Yeah, they're shit. Yeah.
It's all
They're-
about
they're
bourbons or
biscuits.
digestives. Right, okay, they didn't believe me that Hobnob was a real biscuit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, fucking hobnobs. Oh, I love a knob.
Can't go wrong with a
Right.
Hobnob.
Okay. Let me put it to you this way. When it comes to biscuits, right? Okay, for like the Canadians out there, when it comes to biscuits and you're dunking them in your tea, what sort of biscuit do you want, or cookie if you're a moron, right? What sort of biscuit do you want dunking in your tea or your coffee? Do you want like a flimsy digestive that would just
You
break
want a
away?
survivor of a biscuit, something that's
You
going to
want
survive the
the-
journey.
You want the Royal Marine.
You want the
Commandos.
Rocky.
I
of
knew you was going to
biscuits.
say the Marines
Da-
part.
Yeah,
I
you want
knew
the
you was gonna
Marine.
say-
You want the
People don't
Marine
get that.
biscuits, the obnob that you put it in, stick out, and goes, no,
I-
put me in again and again and again. And it's
Anybody
still-
watching is a Peter Kay fan will get that joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyone who's seen Peter Kay will definitely get that joke straight away.
For you guys, that's a British comedian.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
he wasn't
I don't
that-
know what a
wasn't that
hobnob
funny.
is.
It's a,
All right.
we just
I've never
explained
seen
it,
a
Andy.
hobnob.
Andy, we just
Chocolate
explained it. It's a biscuit.
with oats in it.
Oh, you mean a cookie?
He's getting
No,
so
it's a
passionate about
biscuit.
it. Andy, we just
Oh, look at that. We've suddenly lost Andy.
Oh. Swiftly moving on.
All right, okay, I'm interested now. What's another food then that they butcher?
Okay, so we have this, dilute orange, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I lived in
What?
Canada for fucking 3 years. And what's it called, right? Come on.
Well, fucking
compose
Tang,
yourself.
bro.
Oh, Tang. What do you call it?
He calls it
Dilute.
dilute.
It's like Kool-Aid or Tang. Or
Yeah.
Like,
So,
Oh,
Powdered
okay.
juice.
What about this one? Then? What about pop?
It's juice crystals.
no, but it's not powdered. It's
Yeah, no, yours is
concentrated orange.
liquid, and then you pour it in and add water.
But it confused the shit out of me when I was living in Canada because I could never find it anywhere
it's
unless
called
I went to the
frozen
British
juice.
aisle. Sorry, now you get to see
You
the
go
inner
to the
turmoil of being
frozen
raw.
food aisle, and you go into the juice aisle, and you grab the frozen juice.
Oh,
Why would you want it frozen though if you're going to mix it with water? Then I've got to
that's
wait
like
for it
putting
to ice.
that's like putting milk in a bag. What's the fucking point?
Okay, so they don't actually do that. Only in certain provinces they do that.
Sounds like a Manitoba thing, but I don't
That
think.
is-
yeah, under
Yeah.
that milk.
I don't think
bag.
Manitoba actually
Yeah.
exists. I still
Because
want
I
proof
was
that
dead
it's a real thing.
disappointed at my first week of Canada when I didn't find milk in a bag. Because I generally believed that shit for the longest time.
Oh wow. Okay. Right, moving on because we are getting off topic, and the topic is music, and we are turning this show into a food show. So let's bring it back to music, shall we? What is your most favorite song to perform when you're performing it live?
All said and done. That's mine.
Is that your answer or the name of the song?
That's the name of the song and the answer at the same time. Rob, I can
That's
feel your
difficult.
brain ticking.
My
already.
wife just texted me there when we were talking about the food stuff. I said, "Well, what the fuck do you call pop?" And she goes, "Pop. It's fizzy juice, you moron."
You guys call it pop.
No, up here in Scotland, they don't call it pop. They call it juice. You know, like how
Oh,
we would say
yeah, I forgot
diluting
about that.
juice.
Yeah.
Well, we say diluting juice. We call it juice normally.
Bit of iron brew.
I am blue.
Iron brew.
I forgot
Right.
the question. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Same here.
I was tinkering in my favorite song to play. That's really hard. I'd have to say Control Alt Delete or Sleep in Flames.
Okay, very interesting choices. What about you, Andy? Or was it just bang drum?
Bang drum. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like playing Leap of Faith. I think if I had to choose one of all the songs on the EP, but I mean, I like the new stuff. I think is going to be our favorites playing live. The new stuff that we're coming up with, but you know, that's also because I had a hand in putting it together. So
Yeah,
I'm a little biased.
just slightly. So, what are your thoughts on the music industry as it stands today? Now, this question is not for Rob because I already know what his thoughts are, and I really can't be asked of the lecture anymore.
I know, right? It's exhausting after a while.
Yeah, after 5 minutes, it's like, shut the fuck up.
I know,
mate.
right? Honestly. Do you want to take this, Andy? Or do you want me to?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. What was the question?
What are your thoughts on the music industry as it stands today?
Oh fuck! It's like, I mean, it's hard, and like the whole Spotify bullshit and streaming. It's hard to make a living with any of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's challenged. So I mean, I don't think any of us are gonna stop doing it, and it's not the reason why we got into it is to make money off it. But all people ask are like a lower mid band or mid range band is to like make a living off of it, right? And it's getting harder and harder to do that. And then COVID was thrown into the mix, and it's just like, what the hell just happened? So hopefully things can get back to semi-normal in terms of playing shows and making some money with it. But yeah, I'm optimistic, but we just went through the worst time for music, really, for live shows at least. And like Dale was alluding to before, in our area here in Canada, it's hard because like I'm sure you guys have it a lot better in terms of like the population there and the amount of shows you could play in a small area. Touring Canada is fucking
Yeah, half
hard.
of them are called illegal raves.
Underground scene.
Yeah.
But I mean, touring Canada is like, you drive for 2 days, then you play a show, then you drive for another 2 days, you play a show. It's like it's a different thing here, right? So we hope to get into the States and do a little more, play places where there's some people.
Yeah, it's quite interesting you say that though, because it's quite interesting enough. You hear like in like TV, films, radio, and all that sort of stuff. People escaping to Canada to cross the border for a better life, as it were. It's not often that you hear Canadians wanting to escape to the States. For the flip side,
Yeah. Well, I mean, like realistically, in perspective, where we live in BC, there's 6 million people in the entire province. 2 million of that are in Vancouver. So there's
they're right next to the border.
To give that some perspective, I believe someone could correct me in the comments when they do this. I think you can fit the UK 4 times in that area.
Yeah.
I think so.
Canada has like 31,000 or 31 million people or something like that, and like California has 34.
That's the same amount of that's exactly the same amount of the population number of wild haggis we have running around in the Highlands. Actually,
not surprised. No, it is difficult, haggis. Especially like for people in BC. Vancouver is like the music capital, right? But like where we live takes us 6 hours to get there.
Yeah.
And there's no cities in, depends on which way you go. If you take the Hope Prince, then it takes
if you drive like
hours, one end of the country to the other.
It takes me 25 minutes to get to Kelowna.
Put it this way.
It's a 15-minute drive.
It's only 2 more hours for me to fly there. It takes 8 hours to fly there direct from the UK. To put it in perspective.
So it's touring in Canada, unless you're in like Eastern Canada, like Ontario and Quebec.
Yeah.
You don't really have a lot of options to play. So it is a very tight-knit community in quotations because it's been very broken. Like the community itself locally is very, bands kind of don't want to share their fans concept, which for me doesn't make sense because if you're sharing good music, your fans are going to love you even more.
So basically, what we were saying earlier about bands not wanting to help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole sort of elitist kind of cliques start happening here, I think. And it's because there isn't the support there that, can support everybody, I think.
It's
I guess,
like
or that's
it's almost like a bit of a turf war in it between bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
But I
playing
mean,
San
it never
Andreas.
used to be that way. Like, I mean, maybe I sound like an old man. Oh no, back in the old days, but like, it seems like that whole thing Dale was mentioning before, like the bands wanting to one up each other, and this whole elitist thing is kind of a relatively new phenomenon. And back when I was like, a stupid young kid in my 20s playing in bands, everybody supported each other.
Yep.
And there was a lot of shows that had like not just one genre, and you aren't metal enough to play this show, or you aren't whatever enough to play this show. There was a folk band, there was a metal band, and they all played together. It was a hip hop band. It was all one show. And
no, Andy,
it doesn't seem to happen that way anymore.
It's actually interesting that you say that, because if you saw the episode that I'd done with Trashzilla like many moons ago, he was staying over in Vietnam at the time. And the music scene there at the moment, for what he was saying, was kind of like how you explained it just there. And like,
Right.
He's a horrorcore hip hop artist, but he's been doing shows with like rock bands, metal bands, folk singers all over in Vietnam, and building up his audience that way. So that's actually the way it kind of made me think of him as soon as the way you explained it there. I was just like, that actually sounds very familiar. I've heard that somewhere before. Where have I heard that before?
Yeah. I think
it's kind of sad though, because that's the only way I've ever known the scene to be. Because, well, I don't know if it's just changed with time, and maybe the exclusivity is just something that people want to do, because maybe it's the generation thing where they're not as open as they used to be back then. I don't know. But I find, like I said earlier, being more open to people and helping other musicians out is more rewarding and more beneficial in the long run than just having this one mind against the world mentality. So,
I think the industry suffered because there's a huge hunger for a new client. I think that's what it is. We all appeal to the wrong client base. That's kind of just like we need to bring in younger crowd into the rock metal live show scene, right? Like there's too many kids nowadays listening to this like mumble rap junk because it's just what they're shown. They're not shown any good metal.
Fuck mumble rap.
Yeah. Right. Or like they see it that like Island Boys song on TikTok and they're like, this is amazing. And it's like, it's absolutely
I've never even fucking seen that. Or I've seen memes
about
them all
memes
over
about
Facebook, but I've never heard of them in my life.
But it's just because they're not getting introduced to it, right? Like, so if, the music industry really wants to thrive again, appeal to the younger generation.
It's got to be more dynamic than what it is now. Like, the question you asked earlier on, that was kind of my point that Rob's bringing up now, is that I feel now it's like we're going to put it in a box, we're going to mold it, and we're going to stick to the formula, and that's what we're going to send, and that's what we're going to show people. If you look back at the 70s and look at the diversity of music that was back then, it is phenomenal. And that's probably some of the best music that's ever come out, from the 70s all the way up through. And it was diverse, and now it's just like labels don't want to take a risk on people that want to be outside the norm, because it's harder to market, it's harder to mass appeal, and it's harder to package and sell. And that's a shame, because
suppose that's kind of true with like the big major labels, but for the small independent labels, they don't give a fuck. No. You want to play, you've got a crowd, cool.
But it's also, obviously the big labels need to set an example. That's the thing. That's the thing. If they don't lead forward within the way that they're going to be more diverse within the creative arts itself,
the big labels need to shut the fuck up and stop putting out so much mainstream crap that no one actually wants to listen to.
Pretty much.
It's all just dumbed down stuff that's built to like grab people with short attention span kind of thing. Like, I don't know how we bring back appreciation for quality.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to bring that musicianship appreciation back.
I think it will change in the next 10 years. I reckon it will become more diverse. It will start to open up a lot more, because I see it a lot with my friends, and I also see it a lot with like my niece and my nephews. You know, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm bored of listening to this." I was like, "Well, you ever heard this band?" You know, and I'll show them something really easy to get into rock, like Iron Maiden or maybe Led Zeppelin or something like that. And they're teenagers, and like Joshua loves Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean? And he never knew they existed, and he was like, "Oh, I found this new band." It's like, dude, they've been around for a long time. You know what I mean?
There was something about that little story there that you just said there. It was heartwarming as it was, but there's something to me that just seemed a little bit off of it. It's the
Okay.
fact that you have friends.
Yeah, apart from these, yeah, unfortunately. They're all imaginary. You fucking southern twat.
Yeah, you fucking love it. You love it. You pie-eating northern monkey.
Pillar.
All right. So what are your thoughts on how the internet has impacted the music industry?
In many ways, it's made it more accessible, which obviously is a given. But I think it's also devalued the creativeness that goes behind things. You know, things are more accessible, so the appreciation of that is diminished because of the accessibility. If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's made artists lazy.
Yeah.
Now they think they can just make a Facebook event, share it a couple times, and expect people to come to their shows. There's number one thing I hear when I ask questions when I do interviews is, do you guys do handbills? No one does handbills anymore. No one goes around putting flyers up.
They should bring that back though. And
why did that ever stop? Why did that ever stop?
You say that, because I actually do know a couple of people over here in the UK who actually do hand out
and I bet
flyers.
their shows are incredible. Because they're bringing.
I haven't been to them, so I'm up here in Scotland and they're in London.
One thing, I think the one thing the bands lost was that last minute, what can we do? You know, like they're not on Facebook. They're downtown looking around, trying to figure out what to do on Friday night, and they see your bill. The amount of people that traffic that comes through just from seeing that is way more productive and beneficial than sitting there on Facebook trying to promote to people who are just scrolling. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of old school things that could be utilized in the new age that people just kind of overlook, like word of mouth and like simple bills, like handbills. Just really easy things to promote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Word of mouth is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think so.
Well, I've only got a couple more questions left for you guys, and then I can let you go on your merry, merry way. So before I ask these last two questions, have you thought of a challenge for me yet?
I said one in the band chat. Now the guys are going to go look and see what it is.
If it is the challenge music related?
No, it's food related.
It's food related, actually.
It's food related.
Yeah. 1 second.
Without it breaking, though, that's the challenge.
That's kind of
not. It's not the doing of. It's the without it breaking.
Dude, I think he would die trying to do that.
Why am I in charge of this shit then?
Read mine.
Yours hasn't popped up.
Oh, I should do.
That's what she said.
Yeah, no.
I just read what you put, Rob.
Right, this is making me nervous.
You won't die.
I don't think so. It's all healthy.
But has he got to do it with the shell on or not?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Whole.
That's the whole
You got to
leg.
do the whole thing without it breaking.
No, that's you can't do that.
Oh, okay. You're lucky. That was great. I said that right at the beginning. I thought that was genius.
All right, I'm getting nervous now. What the fuck is it?
My idea that the boys turned down was swallow an egg whole.
No, I can't do that.
I just assumed that he meant without the shell, but
with or without the shell, I can't do that.
I've seen that.
Mine is do a ghost chili pepper.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
California Reaper,
something like that. Something spicy.
Yeah. You gotta do that.
Or the
something that makes you cry, and then you have to listen to Adele as well while doing it.
No. Actually, you've got to eat the whole thing, but then you've got to read tongue twisters like she sells on the street.
Yes.
You got to do that.
While Adele's in the background.
Yeah.
Because you gotta be just weaving the whole time with Adele in the background reading tongue twisters.
Yeah, you got to read tongue twisters as you eat it.
I think I should have kept to what I said to Natty, that I'm not going to bother asking you this because you have something fucking ridiculous, and you've just proven that you have something fucking ridiculous. Well, I kind of meant challenges like musically challenges.
Well, I mean, you have to listen to Adele. That's kind of a challenge.
Fuck off.
I mean, like you could put Leap of Faith on in the background. That's a pretty sad song if you wanted to. I used to do it. I don't know. Promote our own music while I can.
To eat a ghost chili.
Yeah,
Okay,
while doing tongue twisters at the same time.
Okay, no, not doing tongue twisters. So you gotta do the ghost chili while singing a song.
Eat a ghost chili
And
while
then without,
singing a song.
No, you have to sing the song after you've eaten it. So while you're going, so fucking hot. Oh my god, you have to try and sing a song with no water, no water, no milk.
No, we'll let him have milk. We'll let him have some
After, yeah, we want to see how long. That's the challenge. How long he can go singing the song without having to use milk, with a mouth burning from a California Reaper.
Where would I get a California Reaper from?
You can order them off Amazon. I've done this
Oh,
before.
you guys.
Right.
Dale's like,
Okay.
I'm on this shit. I know. I'm just
Okay.
sneaking it into people's drinks
What's your
weekly.
address?
But
So
what's the song? What's the song? It has to be Barbie Girl, Aqua.
I want to see that.
Yep, that's it. California Reaper with Barbie Girl Aqua. I want to see how long you can go without having to use milk.
Okay, so that's the challenge. I have to eat a California ghost chili while singing Barbie Girl by Aqua. Fuck me.
That's a wicked challenge, bro. That's gonna go viral. Just watch.
Yeah, it will. We'll go viral.
We just made something wicked for TikTok here.
Okay, fuck it. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yes.
I'll do it. I'm going to curse you up until the day I die, Rob, which will most likely be 5 minutes
Probably.
after. But I'll do it. It'll be a couple of weeks. It'll
That's
be a
okay.
couple of weeks before it gets done, but I will.
I want to play devil's advocate because we gave you a challenge. Now, when Rob does his next interview, I want you to give him a challenge.
I don't do the interviews anymore. Norm does the interviews, so
Oh,
let's
well
totally
then-
do this.
Hey, do it to Norman. He
Normie
does-
didn't show up. Let's mess with him hard.
Oh yes, I'm down for that one. Right. Okay. No, that sounds like a fair trade.
Yeah.
Fair trade. That one.
Norman's got to slip.
You can think about it.
Question into the next interview.
Yeah. Or how about Norman does the same thing that you're doing, and you share the experience together,
Yeah, that's because
like
he
as a
didn't show
cross
up.
promotion thing, Enigma and whatever.
He's gonna watch the episode and be like, "These cocksuckers are fucking brainstorming against me."
That's what you get for not turning up, Norm.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. I'm down.
Okay, so Rob, you're gonna tell Norman tonight, yeah?
I guess.
Don't
so.
tell him. No, don't tell him. Wait
Yeah,
until
just-
he sees the episode.
Yeah.
And then we just have to match it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till he sees the interview. Make sure you watch the whole thing, Norman. It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the? Oh my god! I can't believe. Right. Okay. So. Fuck me.
Well, like it's gotta be better now that someone else is gonna do it with you. Like we
It's not
came
an
Yeah,
egg,
yeah,
bro. It's not a
it's
whole
like-
egg. Just keep remembering that. It's not a
I'm
whole
not
egg.
doing-
The whole time you're eating the pepper, I'm not swallowing a whole egg.
Yeah, it makes me feel a little bit better knowing that there's going to be someone doing it with me who can share my pain. So that makes it a little bit better. I'll ask my little brother how bad the ghost chilies are because he eats all that spicy crap all the time and it doesn't even phase him. He's like 17 years old and it doesn't phase him.
Well, it will when he's older.
Right. Okay. So moving on to the last couple of questions. Right. So my last question for you is a super serious one. It's like proper serious. So game faces on, boys. Game faces for this one. Okay. Do you sing in the shower? And if you do, what do you sing?
I write in the shower, like vocals. I do sing in the shower.
What do you sing?
Yeah, what do you sing?
I practice my screaming. Like that's what I do. I practice my screaming because I'm meant to be helping Rob do backing vocals.
You practice your screaming.
It sounds like someone's being murdered in the shower.
Yeah, can you imagine the neighbors what they think?
Well, he lives in the north of England, so I'm
It's
guessing if
pretty
anyone
north,
hears
actually,
screaming,
yeah.
they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay, no worries."
It's just how we say hello.
I totally
Yeah.
sing in the shower. I have an actual shower playlist that
What'd
I
you
play.
sing?
I'll pull up the list and tell you what's on it.
Is
All right. It's not a bad list. It's actually quite a good list. I won't even lie.
Aqua Barbie Girls on there?
Yes, it is. It is actually. It's a good song. My metal list. So there's tons of stuff on there. But I really enjoy singing Catastro. I think they have an album that I like. I'll listen to the whole album as much as I can while having a shower and just go through it. It's a wicked album, so.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Andy?
No, I don't sing in the shower.
Yeah, you lie.
No, I don't. I do think about songs, and I go through songs in my head in the shower. That's the best time to like write or think about new songs. Honestly, if this is a serious question.
Yes, it is a serious question. Every question is serious.
You should ask how many people practice arguments in the shower.
Oh, every
Right? Everyone gets in the
time,
shower.
because
just
I'm like, if I had said this,
They start punching the fucking hose. Like, come on, then.
yeah, if I had
Right?
said this to them instead of that, I could have won that
Yeah.
argument.
That's when
God damn it, now I'm
everyone's
thinking on
slightly
the couch
crazy
again.
is in the shower. They always talk to themselves.
Oh, I talk to myself even if I'm not in the shower. It's actually, the half decent conversation that I get.
Oh, we're
Makes
not
sense.
keeping up for you. We're not good enough for you. That's what you're saying.
You're not, Del. The other two, no, they're fine, but you're not.
Fuck you, you dozy Philip.
So, have you had fun doing this with me today?
Yes,
hell yeah.
I have.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much for taking the time out. We really appreciate it. So thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Would you like to come back on again in the future? Maybe to promote anything
100%.
you've got coming on?
Well, yeah, we have to because you got to watch Norman eat a pepper and sing
Yeah.
Aqua.
Yeah, and remind me not to not show up. I got to show up,
Yeah,
Yeah.
or I have to eat a pepper or something.
right.
Yes. If
Is
you
that
don't
going to
show
be
up,
like the band consequence from now on? Like whoever bails on it,
Whoever bails on
interview?
interviews, I think it is. I think it's gonna. We'll find some stupid challenge. So
well,
we'll
that
find
will be
something
the
stupid.
challenge because, as you know, this is recorded. So, and as it's because it's recorded, that means the word is binding. So,
It is.
and I will want proof of this as well because the chili pepper is going to be eaten whilst recorded as well for proof. So I want proof.
There you go.
Right. It should be like drink a pint of escargot juice.
What the fuck is that?
Escargot.
Snails.
Snails.
Snail juice.
Snail
We made a
juice.
guy do that in the restaurant once. We bet him $50.
Ugh.
It was awesome.
I've drank the crap from the bottom of a drip tray from a pub once on a dare.
Oof.
Oh,
Oof,
That
really rough.
was horrendous. I think that was on like my 20th birthday or something.
I wonder how long it was sitting there
Yeah.
for.
Oh,
I have no idea, but I was.
Was
that
it a
drunk on
Witherspoons
Jaeger.
by any chance?
Let me think. No, it wasn't. It was actually in a nightclub that's no longer around anymore.
Oh. I was going to say, because if it was Witherspoons, that's how their beer comes anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah, pretty much. Whoa, shade on Weatherspoons. Fuck you, Tim Martin. Right. Okay, everybody. That is all the time that we've got on. Whoop. Dale is now playing with his stupid little good toy guitar there again, whilst I was trying to do my outro.
Sorry.
Dick.
Yes, I
Fucking
am.
Northerners, so inconsiderate.
Fucking Southerners. No communication skills.
At least we can actually talk and people understand us, you northern monkey prick.
I'm not northern. If you look at from, you're more northern than I am at the minute.
Yeah, at the minute I am, yeah.
You don't even know where
Oh,
I'm based.
I don't care. I'm from Dorset. Anywhere north of Dorset is the fucking north.
Because you're a bunch of cunts.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Look
Well,
forward.
that is all the time that we've got for today, and that was Storm the Empire with me. And I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you appreciate the challenge that I have been given, and I am fucking dreading it. So if you enjoyed the show with us tonight, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, give us a like, and subscribe to the channel because it really helps us out. And if you want to see more, I will have a brand new episode coming out next week where I am joined by another guest. I know, fucking mental. Make sure you tune in for that one because that is going to be a good show as well. Like, especially with the challenges that Natty is given, the next 4 guests have now got to give me a fucking challenge. Great. That should be fun. In the meantime, I hope you all stay safe and I hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you